After I graduated from my degree, I actually applied everywhere except for Brunei. With your personality and your attitude, yeah, you should be in hospitality. I was like saying, I don't want to work in a hospital. I don't even like blood. My stressness was more to language.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to Senimerge Podcast. Untuk episod kalian ni, kita ni bawakan someone yang daripada F&B. Selalunya orang F&B ni ia own kedai makan saja ataupun gerai ke apakah. Tapi orang ni bukan saja ia ada kiosnya sendiri yang tempatnya berjual makanan, tapi ia juga menyediakan servis untuk consulting. Jadi siapa-siapa yang akan membuka kedai makan ke, kan venture arah F&B ni, tapi macam dah tahu macam mana ataupun kan cuba-cuba saja, ia ada menyediakan servis, bukan saja layoutnya disediakannya, bukan saja apa menunya, sampai bahagian HR-nya, sampai punya bahagian accounting-nya boleh disediakannya. Jadi ia more to arah F&B consultant lah. Tapi indah cukup di sana. Ia punya background, one of ia punya first jobnya di China terus bos, bukannya di Brunei. Sekali balik ke Brunei pun bekerja arah tempat yang kalau di Brunei kira kan famous berhabis lah. Kalau ia cakap orang Brunei mustahil nak tahu lah. Lepas itu balik semula ke China bos. Untuk kali kedua ia bekerja ke China bersama ia punya tim-timnya. Kalau orang macam mana pun kamu cakap anda berpengalaman dah tu aku tahu tu. Tapi kita ni mau tahu lagi lebih lanjut biar dia sendiri yang bercerita lah. So kita ni kan welcome to Senimerge Podcast Chef Luqman Hakim. Hari tu Ustaz Loki kan, Ustaz Luqman. Ini Chef Luqman. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Alright. So, barangkali the audience mau tahu kali macam a little bit of your background. Kalau dapat you cerita sedikit lah.
Okay.
Siapa Chef Luqman ni?
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let me just introduce my name first. Luqman Hakim bin Haji Osman, born and bred in Brunei. Studied in Switzerland in a hotel management degree, basically. Dual degree with restaurant resort management as well.
Wow.
Okay, so came late lah in terms of knowing what is hospitality, because the first thing when I knew hospitality, benar-benar I thought it's a hospital. Why would I want to work in a hospital? But after my lecturer actually explained to me, hospitality is more to F&B, restaurants, hotels, and things like that. So I got more interested. Pasalnya, I wanted to be overseas. I want to travel the world because hospitality is all about that. People call me chef is because I have the passion for food and beverage. I like to, create things from scratch. I don't like to use those generic one yang ada lah, tapi yang macam, like those that is ready-made or something to create. I like to do it from scratch. I want to understand the chemical side of it, of how certain tastes, certain flavors works well. That's me. So it gets a bit more complicated on that side lah. That's my passion lah. So I like to create new things. In terms of, like you said, my first job was in China. It was in Shanghai actually. This was back in 2010, just after I graduated. Actually, after I graduated from my degree, I actually applied everywhere except for Brunei. Not saying that it's not that I'm not supporting Brunei. It's just that Brunei at that time was not ready in terms of hospitality and F&B itulah. So I wanted to have experience outside. So you never know. When I come back to Brunei, I bring the experience, which I actually wanted to do. That was the main aim. So I applied actually to 4 places: China, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore, as well as Japan. Only 3 gave me an answer: China, Malaysia, and Indonesia. No, Singapore, sorry. But two of them were just like a restaurant or that has been already established. China gave me a better opportunity, but they said that if you come here, you'll be opening a restaurant from scratch.
Wow.
So meaning to say, I choose the cutleries, I choose the plates, I choose
Wow.
the stuffing, I do the marketing, everything from scratch. So I was like thinking, it's a good learning experience for me after graduating, know what is the basics basically,
Yeah.
but applying it to the real world.
Uh-huh.
And so that's where I said, yeah, I'll go to China. I'll
Yeah.
definitely go to China. I don't know what's over there.
Yeah.
It's an adventure.
On dulu.
Yeah, on saja. So when you get over there, it's like, definitely, it's like, a bit culture shock.
Yep,
A bit culture shock.
yep.
Because you don't know what's over there,
Yeah.
how the culture is and things like that.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
tend to adapt lah.
Yeah.
So the place that hired me was a celebrity chef. His name was David Laris, who actually came to Brunei before. Who did some courses, not courses, like a dinner course at Empire Hotel.
Oh.
So he came there and hired me, worked there as an assistant manager. Worked there for them for 2 years and then be promoted to restaurant manager. But that's why it was hard lah. It was hard because I didn't know the language. Language barrier is it's very hard. Luckily, my assistant managed to speak English as well lah.
I
So it helps me to
see.
translate on that side. Learn from the hard way, made a lot of mistakes, learned from this and that. Almost got fired actually, to be
yo.
honest. Almost got fired for a certain small mistake.
Yo.
But then because F&B scenes in Shanghai especially is very, very aggressive.
Do you remember dulu masa Damit ke apa, macam mana boleh timbul rasa minat atau, and then what is your first taste of business atau?
Business never came to my mind, to be honest. Never
okay.
came to my mind. My parents, my dad was in the army. Okay, I was Asgar, pegawai. My mom was a teacher. Okay, so my mom started off having its own school lah. School meeting, a very small school close to the house. Basically, I went to that school as a kindergarten, but I was just like normal, like just a kid. Never
Yeah.
thought about business. Never thought about this. I was just like was thinking like, macam as I grew up, I started to see my brother is into engineering. So I said, okay, I'm getting engineering. I want to do mechanical engineering. I like science and things like that. So after a while, after I went to the course, I actually went to Australia to study as well. Did that, trying to do mechanical engineering punya side, but I didn't do so well. So I failed. So, and then I met this lecturer lah, which is in Brunei actually. Studied in GIS, so I studied GIS Foundation. Taught me about hospitality and things like that. So like I said, I don't know what's hospitality. Yeah, I don't want to work in a hospital. That was the first thing in my mind. Yeah, because he was saying that with your personality and your attitude, yeah, you should be in hospitality. Yeah. I was like saying, hospitality? I don't want to work in a hospital. I don't even like blood because that was the first thing in my head. Hospitality. So it's like, okay. And then, no. He explained to me, it's like, it's restaurants, it's food and beverage, it's hotel, it's front desk, it's housekeeping and things like that. It's like, okay. You get to travel more. Oh, travel more. that got me interested more. That got me interested. It's like, I wanted to travel. I always like to travel around. So I started to find out about this. Then where I studied lah. Before I went to Switzerland, I was studying in Singapore. Singapore, basically, doing the hospitality. But in terms of the sense of business, I guess it was the last years of after my dad retired from Asgar. He was basically in charge of Kowira.
Kowira.
So he brings me around sometimes to the Kadai to see how this works, how he buys things from Singapore. I think that's where, and canteen as well. He has the canteen, so that's where I think the sense of business came to me. But I wasn't really macam mana, really into it lah.
Yeah.
Tapi if I think about it, when I was in secondary school, I was given a gift
Yep.
hamster.
Okay.
You know the animal hamster, male and female. It start to breed. banyak. And then my mom got a bit annoyed with it because aku menjaga, but then it's like getting more and more. And I was like thinking,
Laju kan tu, dia punya tu.
oh yeah, the breeding is very fast.
Oh.
So I was like thinking, maybe cubalah try to sell to my friends di sekolah.
Berapa
And then
you sell?
I was selling it for probably the small one for $5, the big one for $10 or something like that. And people start to buy from me.
Mau jual berapa?
Orang balik. Bukan lagi teachers pun bagi. Ya tak, aku pun macam
Siap je
probably I guess that's where the sense of business came into play, I guess lah, because at that time aku macam okay lah jual because my mom doesn't like it, and I was like trying to get rid of it as much as possible because it's getting too much. So yeah, I guess that's where, but I think which initiated more is when my father actually brought me to all the other places too. Itulah. That's how I see it lah.
So macam benarnya banyak you punya dots-dotsnya, and then you connect.
I guess so, because after I was talking like this, mana je tu? I was thinking back then I was selling some hamsters. so it's like there was already a form of business belong. So that you think about it. But then not really realize. But yeah.
Okay, that's good. From your experience kerja di luar atau di China, macam mana you punya work ethicnya sama you punya stress levelnya? Stress memang stress di mana-mana, tapi barangkali ada different level of stress kalian di sana.
Okay, before I go start into deep on that one, because I mentioned that before kan aku just jump into it. Macam mana aku dapat ke China kan? I just send all my CVs. I don't care. I just push it. I just did it. I didn't wait. I don't procrastinate. Is that the word? Yeah. You don't procrastinate. Basically, you just have to do it. Send it. You never know. You'll be lucky. Macam I was lucky. I wasn't like okay lah. If I don't get a job, then I'll try to find the Brunei lah.
Yeah.
Because Brunei is like a home, and for sure our parents will definitely take care of us, which we cannot really, to be honest, rely too much lah. To be honest, to be independent, we cannot really rely because we want to jaga dorang. To be honest, that's how we want it. Talking about work ethics in outside, yes, it's different from here. The politics, the office politics over there and here is also different. The stressness is also there. My stressness was more to language over there. Okay, it was more to language because it was hard for me to communicate to them. I want to say this and this and this, but I couldn't translate it to them how I want it to be
So
translated.
diorang di sana fully cakap Cina?
Yes, most of them.
Dia cakap English?
Not a lot. Certain province in China they know how to speak English because sekolah. But most of them in the berapa. So even if you go to Kadai, you beritahu macam I want to buy this one. Like,
yeah.
What are you talking about? It's like, are you crazy or something? Like
Masa tu belum ada Google Translate.
No, belum lagi. Ada kali, but then I think we were
Belum
using
reliable lah.
No, it wasn't reliable. I had to use it's an app called Hanping, which I type it out.
Ada sudah.
I typed it out and just basically just show this is what I want, like that. So that was the only way how I communicate, for me to communicate. So, but then slowly but slowly, I started to learn the language. Ambil the important words. Until now, I don't really speak Chinese. I don't speak Mandarin. But I take the words that I know, that I say, okay, this person is saying this, so I understand what he was trying to tell to me. That's what I do until now lah. Okay. Politics, I never get into it, to be honest. Inside the stress level, the politics in China, I didn't go into it because thankfully I don't understand the language. So if they wanna say behind my back, by all means, because I don't really understand. Because aku terasa darang kan. When you are young, kalau kena cakap di belakang, you'll be like, apa orang cakap? But for me, it's like I didn't understand. So it's okay. It's like no problem. I just mind my own business lah saja. So, but if I were to say back then until now, and before, Brunei and China punya work ethics is way different. So I tend to grow more faster because of that. You tend to you have a reliability. How do you say it? Reliability check, because
reality check.
Reality check. That's that word. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's just macam when you do a mistake, it's either you kena fine or something, or you might get fired.
Yep.
And when you get fired, you go back to your own country. And
Owner dia menyambut tu.
no, yeah. They basically they will not they'll give you like one week or 2 weeks to settle whatever you need to do, and you have to go back.
Dia ada
Flight
macam
ticket no given, you sendiri.
oh ya wah.
Yeah.
Dia ada macam kira ada masa lagi cari tempat lain kosan sana apa ni.
Oh well, that's where you have your connections. Your
Diorang yang menjamin.
something like that lah. Not if you have the connections, if you network with a lot of people over there, macam you tanya, you have a job for me or something like that. Doesn't matter what job it is. Some people do that, but most of the foreigners over there, to be honest, the company is sponsoring them. Not only sponsoring them in terms of their visa, but dorang punya insurance and medical and things like that. And it's costly for them. It's like us juga, macam when we hire a maid or something tu kan, we have to tanggung tempat tinggal. Tapi for me, dorang dah tanggungkan tempat tinggal, I have to find my own. It's just because my salary is you find your tempat tinggal.
Tapi salary wise bagus lah.
Alhamdulillah, yes.
Alhamdulillah. Okay.
I would say my first paying job in a private institution, in a private as considerably as a government job.
Oh.
Yeah.
Untuk degree punya rate.
Yes.
Wah.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah. I was getting that, but it took a while lah for me to naik. Tapi the high pay rate is tinggi lah because the cost of living is tinggi bah.
Yep.
It's the same for like Switzerland bah, because when I did internship in Switzerland, when I was studying in Switzerland, I did internship kan. The salary for internship usually internship di sini berapa kira-kira?
200, 300.
Kan? It's basically to pay for your transportation,
Malaysia,
your minyak and things like that, right? Di sana in Switzerland, your salary for as internship was 3,000. Internship saja.
Okay.
Because the standard of living is very, very high over there.
Tapi cukup 3,000 tu.
Oh, more than enough.
More
than enough. Bukan lagi. Pandai-pandai lah.
Bujang lagi apa?
Pandai-pandai lah because when you already studying there, you know where the cheap places, where the the places you want to go and things like that. You know how to manage on those kind of things.
Internship 3,000
Yes.
Wah.
Imagine full time di sana berapa?
Ya,
Itu kalau sudah internship 3,000.
Tapi masa your internship itu baik nak kena tax.
Adalah tax, definitely. Definitely there's always tax. Even in China as well there's tax. Income tax. Certain percentage lah. Tapi it's still I can, because accommodation at that time was given by the employee and the employer. So I didn't have to think about paying for all I have to think about is the money that I save for my food or for my transportation for what. So that was pretty much it.
I see.
And it was like 3,000. I was like, wow. Balik ke Brunei pun macam kirakan at that time kaya. But yeah, it was fun,
Okay.
I don't know what else. Work ethics, stressful. It's different lah saja. I would say you have a wider mind of thinking lah.
Yep.
You are not just focusing on one thing, but you have to open up your eyes more over there. So that's where you tend to learn more faster. You tend to understand more faster. You tend to not learn, but take the initiative more faster.
I see. Proaktif lah jadinya.
Yes, definitely.
Okay,
you have to always be proactive. In business, you have to always be proactive.
Itu benar. Kalau tidak diam saja.
If you're just gonna wait and just like that and hoping that things will come in front of you, it's not gonna happen.
Mustahil.
It's like me applying to China tu kan. I had to push for it.
You approach them.
I had to send to whatever companies, and I was just like cuba. Okay. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't get it. I would be like staying in Brunei and work.
Didn't find your learning ground lah. Masa tu.
Correct.
Alright, interesting. Kita ni kan ambil break sekejap. See you in part 2.